Hello there, it's CO40 Systems here, and today I'll be bringing you the teams I'll be getting behind in Battlebots 2020 and some honourable mentions. The first team is a team I'm familiar with from the UK scene, and it's been in the past with kilohertz and terahertz and through to beta in Battlebots, and it's really nice to see beta back in the game, and I'm really hoping they'll do well this season. Since none of the other UK teams could make it due to travel restrictions and stuff and all that planning, it's nice to at least have one British team to get behind this year. So yes, I'm looking forward to a lot of the battles there against the spinners and seeing how it does, and I really want them to get at least to the top 16. That would be a really good achievement. The second team that's really shown some promise this year is BLOODSPORT. I've been following a lot of Seth's videos on YouTube and how he's improved the design from the first iteration in 2019, and the robot just looks so much better all round. I mean, the drive, the chassis, and the new weapon bar options, they all look at least two times as good as last year. So I'm really hoping they're going to go far, and best of luck to them. And what's also nice is it's a new, fresh take on the overhead spinner. It looks a little bit different to Son of Y. Actually, it's just deviated slightly, which is nice to see. The third team that really wants to do well this year is COPPERHEAD, because again, Robert Cowan has sort of explained all the upgrades and how this version of COPPERHEAD, although it looks the same, is so much better in terms of electronics and how it's all put together. So I think they will actually get really far this year, and I'm actually expecting them to get into the top 16 at least. So it'd be nice to support them and see how far they get. I think the robot this year will be able to dish out bigger hits and so send opponents flying into the ceiling, which will be entertaining to watch. The next robot I really want to do well is SLAMMOW, mainly because all of Craig Danby's robots have sort of had some bad luck or reliability issues in the past, and it looks like he's ironed out a lot of the problems with those past robots in this one. So, and it's also a really interesting control bot, and I think it's going to present a challenge to a lot of robots. I think it would be a very successful control robot. And yeah, best wishes to Craig, and hopefully this robot actually gets into the top 16. At the very least, do a suplex on the other robot. Then we have team behind WHIPLASH this year. I think even though they've made just subtle improvements, I think combined with the upgrades with the driving skills that they have, again, they'll go far this year. It's really interesting because it's a nice combination of control bot, and it's still got a weapon that can do damage, which I've always liked their design from the start, from the first time I saw it. So yeah, I'm hoping they do well. And so on to the honourable mentions, which are all really interesting designs. The first one I'd say is quite an obvious pick because CHOMP is so far out from all the other robots that it's going to be really interesting to see how it does. I mean, it's basically a walker with a full 2x weight limit and an axe that can, I don't know how much damage it's going to do. It's going to be crazy to watch that axe bear down on the opponent and do some serious damage. Then you've got Fusion, which is going to present a real challenge to opponents because you can only really prepare against a horizontal or a vertical, or not both. And knowing the Viachi team, they've got some very good technology in there, so I think that robot could go very far potentially if it works. And then we have HIJINX, which is an undercutter, but it's unconventional because they've basically put more weight into the weapon, so nobody can really predict what it's going to do, if it's going to be a glass cannon or it's going to be really effective. But I heard the team is pretty good behind it, so I think it will go quite far. Then it leads into the fan favourite, which is HIJINX. HIJINX is still tied into all those designs like Gabriel, and there's a few featherweight designs that are also similar in the UK. So it's always fun to watch HIJINX because again, it's very difficult to prepare against it. So you know it's going to do well. And then especially for watchers of UK Classic Robot Wars, it's really nice to see a Rusty here that's basically almost like looks like a shed build, and it's kind of harkens back to the old Classic Robot Wars, which is really great to see because it makes the show feel more accessible to a new builder. The next one is me, and that's been on the US beta scene for a while, and it's pretty cool to see like a robot just scaled straight up from beta weight to heavyweight and actually see it how it works the similar way. So it'd be really interesting, and another unusual one for opponents to try and prepare for. And then finally, last but not least, of course, Witch Doctor, who I really got behind last season and wanted them to win it in the end. So this stuff, I feel like this is their best chance to win a season going forward, and yeah, let's hope Witch Doctor could actually win it this time. So that about wraps it up for this Battlebots 2020 video, and I shall see you next time.